Welcome back, everybody, from my second live stream. Doing a Q&A this time, and at the end of it, I'm going to go through how I got into the horse racing, how I got into it. But I'll start off by just answering some common horse racing questions. My favorite horse, that would be pretty tough. I mean, trying to think now. Okay, my favorite horse, True Self. True Self, marked by his win at the end of the Flemington Carnival, at the end of not last year before. Very good win, bursting through late under Hugh Bowman and won by a good space. So that's True Self, probably True Self, my favorite horse. Favorite jockey, that would be Billy Egan. I'm a very big fan of his. I really like his riding style. He's an aggressive rider, and a lot of his horses generally tend to like his style of riding. And my favorite stable, well, there's a few of them. For stayers, it's got to be Kieran Moore and David Hughes. They're just so good at keeping their horses up, keeping their horses going, and continuing their preparations and keeping them right up throughout a long period of racing time. Like in 2020, it was Perth, and last year it was Grand Promenade. We haven't quite seen who it's going to be this year yet, so I'm excited to see who they're going to be bringing out in the spring. I mean, it could be Floating Artist. He could come back and blow and become a very good horse. He is a good horse, but come back and prove his staying prowess over the spring months. For sprinters, my favorite stable for the sprinters would probably have to be Chris Waller. He's just got a lot of good sprinters on the card on his in his stable. I mean, obviously Home Affairs, Nature Strip. What a clash that was in the Lightning. And I thought it was a very dogged effort by Nature Strip. I think he should have won it. I thought he did win it, but wasn't to be. And he since went over to Royal Ascot and blew the English horses away. And then Home Affairs, obviously, he's now been retired. So, yeah, it was being good for the two horses. And look, he's got a lot of other good sprinters in his stable. And this is why he's won the Everest, because he's a good trainer and he can pick the right horses to go towards the big races. And he's got a lot of good horses on his cards. Then for the jumpers, for my favorite jumping stable, it would have to be Kieran Moore and David Eustace again. And that's only recently changed. It used to be Paddy Payne, because obviously he had ZM and he had a lot of other good jumpers, and his WT has tried his luck over the hurdles, but I think the horse is gone. Personally, I don't think he can bring a horse back. I mean, he was good over the jumps, but he was disappointing yesterday at Flemington, though he's probably looking for the obstacles now. And Zeneb's now retired, but special mention to Simon Weil. He has a lot of good jumpers, gold medals, what a horse he was, and won a couple of good races, won a couple of annuals, so good horse. And Kieran Moore and David Eustace, obviously they've got Sauna Boy, and he's just a jumping star. He actually races today, and I'm pretty keen on his chances in the Grand Annual today, so I reckon he's going to go very, very well. Now we go on to my favorite track. My favorite track, no better track in the world than Flemington. I mean, it's Melbourne's premier track. It's such a brilliant track. Horses can win from anywhere. Down this, it's got a unique straight round the bend. Like I said, horses can win from anywhere. And the best track that favours front runners in Australia is probably, obviously, not going to come as a surprise to many people, but Moonee Valley. I mean, if you're a leader at Moonee Valley, you tend to do quite well. and that's good. Then we go now to my favorite race. My favorite race of the entire calendar year. A lot of people probably say the majors are Cox Plate, Caulfield Cup, Melbourne Cup. My favorite is actually going to come to a surprise to many as you, but it's the Memsey. My favorite race is the Memsey because it's a good race. It marks the start of the spring, and that's when the good horses are starting to come back. I mean, obviously they come back in the PB Lawrence, but the Memsey Day really starts the spring. Like that's the race that really elevates horses, and that's their spring kickoff point. So I really like the Memsey, and obviously Behemoth's won the last 2 years. Can he win it again? We'll see. He races in the spring stakes. The race he's won the past 2 years next weekend. So hopefully we can see the big boy come back, and hopefully he can win another Group 1. Now on to my favorite. My favorite racing moment. I'm gonna do this in two. So I'm gonna do this since I've been into horse racing. So I've only been in horse racing for 2 years. Started in 2020. When my father said, "Do you want to have a bet in the Melbourne Cup?" And I said, "Yeah." So he taught me how to read the form, taught me how to look at the horses, and he taught me, what to look for: good track condition, the horses' form at the distance, at the track. You could talk about an hour how to do form, but that's how he taught me to do. And I actually I picked Twilight Payment, and I just thought. I mean, he was paying a big price. I thought, I'll put something on him. And I did. And he won by a couple of lengths. And I was pretty happy because my dad actually had picked Chapada. No, not Chapada. Was it? No, Prince of Arran. Sorry, I got that wrong. Prince of Arran. Dad picked Prince of Arran. I was thinking of his other favourite horse. He'd picked Prince of Arran, and that ran third. So between us, we got 2 of the horses out of the trifecta in the 2020 Melbourne Cup. So we were happy about that. And then I've been doing the form for race meetings for a long time. Ever since that day, looking through the form, just scrambling, I was doing it the old-fashioned way and getting a newspaper and going through the form, doing it that way, just looking through and getting the form and doing it that way. But since obviously using technology now with many applications that you can use to do the form. I personally use RaceNet. I think it's the best way you can do your form because it gives you so much information. You can really use it, and it can really be beneficial. And that's how I do my form. And they're pretty good. They're pretty good when they do their tips. They're pretty good at their first fours. But anyway, so then after I'd had Twilight Payment on Melbourne Cup Day, it came to Stakes Day. I think it was Stakes Day. Yeah, it was 2 days after the Cup. So yeah, no, was it? No, it's 2 days. So that's Melbourne Cup. It must have been Oaks. It was Oaks Day. I'm trying to think. Oaks Day, Stakes Day. Oh, it was the Thursday after the Melbourne Cup. I can't remember what it was. I mean, the calendar might have changed for them, but it was a Thursday after the Melbourne Cup. It was the Queen Elizabeth Stakes, and I thought top of the straight, no chance, true self. But then when Hugh Bowman brought it through, and I can still remember the lines that Matty Hill said: "True self takes the lead for Bowman, and true self is won it by a length. Pontus Chapada." That just filled me with so much happiness that I'd picked 2 double price winners in a week. That was the best feeling in the world. But I think since then I've only picked a couple. There hasn't been many double price winners since then. Let me put it like that. No, there hasn't been a lot. I mean, probably the memorable ones for me are Superstorm in the Cantala of last year, in the spring of last year. Unfortunately, we won't see Superstorm again this spring because it's been put out with injury. And Don't Tell the Boss earlier this year. Still can't believe you paid $30 and that was good. And actually, there is probably one of memory. There's a big classic of last year, Spanish Mission, the raging favorite, and I thought he could get beat, and I was right because I backed Sound at 20-1, and it was a very good win. So thank you, Jamie Mott. So that's how I got into the racing, and my favorite moments of racing. And thanks for watching. This replay will be available for those who want to view it. But thank you for watching, and hope you've enjoyed it.